Drivers are a very handy tool when it comes to animation and rigging. You can use it to drive bone transforms, action constraints, or to control shape keys, which is the subject of this video. So today, I'll show you the simplest way of controlling shape keys with a driver. First, we're going to create our first shape key, and for that, we're going to click this plus button twice, once for the basis, which is the reference for the shape keys, and the second time for the shape key we want to make. Then all we have to do is go into edit mode and edit our mesh. For this example, I'm going to make an inset on the top face and then extrude it. When we get back into object mode, we can see our edit, but it's normal because the value of the shape key is set to 0. But after you slide it to 1, you can see the shape key appearing. We can now add a bone that's going to work as a controller. And then let's do a right click on the numbers next to the shape key's name and choose add driver. Here we're going to set our driver. So first we're going to choose average value because we don't need to write an expression for this example. Then we're going to select our bone for the controller. Then for the orientation of the bone, I am quickly going to explain how we're going to choose it. We can enable the display of the bone's axis in the armature tab, and let's set the bone's display to wire. And now we can see all the three axes of the bone. You notice that the y-axis of the bone corresponds to the z-axis of the whirl. And since we want our shape key to be activated when the bone goes up, we're going to choose the Y location. I hope that makes sense. So let's set this to Y location, and for space we're going to choose local space, so that the driver is only affected by the transforms of the bone. And now when we move the bone up, we trigger our shape key thanks to the driver. We can increase the driver's reactivity, meaning that we can make the shape key appear faster when we move the bone by adding a modifier. All we have to do is select the cube, right click on the driven value, open the driver's editor, then go to the modifiers tab and add the generator modifier. If we change this value to 3 for example, it's going to make our driver react faster to the motion of the bone. Now you can see that it's moving slightly faster than before. Now that we can control one shape key with our driver, we're going to add 3 more shape keys and control all of them with the same bone. For that, we're going to add new shape keys as we did earlier, and we're going to edit the mesh accordingly. After that, we can add new drivers, or we can just copy the first one we made and modify it accordingly. Just make sure you don't forget to change the axis. And now we can control all the shape keys with a single bone, but we can organize it a little more so that 2 shape keys don't activate simultaneously. To do that, we're gonna head back to the driver's editor, and for shape keys that are on the same axis, for example left and right, we're gonna set one to be triggered only when the bone moves to the corresponding direction. So let's add a generator modifier for the left shape key and change this value to a negative number. And let's do the same for the down shape key. And now each shape key is only activated when the bone moves to its direction. The number of things that can be done with drivers is huge. These are some examples of custom properties I made using drivers. In my next video, I'll show you how you can control lights and emission shaders with a driver, so you can also use it in your own projects. This is the end of this video. I hope you learned something from it. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss my next videos, and see you next time.